Hey everyone, welcome to my Thanksgiving weekend Hellish Quart tournament. So this is Thanksgiving weekend for Canadians, for anyone who's confused. We do our Thanksgiving earlier. Our frosts come much earlier than many parts of the United States, so that's the primary reason why our Thanksgiving is a full month earlier than normal for many Americans. So let's get started. I'll get into commentator talks shortly, but we will start our first fight. That'll be Apostle versus Info. Let me just make sure my audio is good. Yes, it is. It looks good. Don't need to name it anything special. Just call it Tourney. There we go. Looks like Apostle is coming in. Of course, for those who aren't aware, I just go in commentator talks so that people can hear me while they're fighting instead of taking up extra bandwidth by having the stream in the background on their computer. But all the action, of course, happens on YouTube. And we'll give Info a little bit of time to join, then we'll just move on and do another fight if we need to, and come back as needed. That's just for the sake of time, keep things moving, especially since we're a little bit late, unfortunately, about 10 minutes late or so. Alright, Info's here, excellent. Right on cue. Okay, so how I do these, obviously it's double elimination, so it's going to be best of 3, and Apostle will start on the left side. So let's get going. That's the Hellish Court soundtrack there I was using, some of the new songs. I really like them. Okay, let's turn this on. It's not a Monday tourney, so let's change that too. Okay, and Apostle will be on the left. Oh, that's the rank, hang on. There we are. Thankfully, it's very easy to set up, and once you've set it up, you're good to go. Oh, wait, I might still have it on 13 because I was fighting Piper, so let me just make sure. Yeah, we don't want 13 flags. Let me just double check what the rules say. 7 flags exactly, so let's do that. Just making sure we're following the agreed upon rules because somebody got a little annoyed by that last time. So some of you might have noticed you had to agree to the rules beforehand before joining, and that's why. It should go without saying, but sometimes all it takes is one person to make it a tad bit more annoying for everyone else. So a little unfortunate, but that's what I'll do from now on so there's no controversy. If you're mad about it, it's on you. Happy Thanksgiving, Wiggly. Appreciate it. Again, I know it's not Thanksgiving for most of you. In fact, most of you probably don't even celebrate it because it's obviously a North American thing. But, you know, we're getting close to Halloween. Still a rather festive month. That's kind of the nice thing about living in Canada. It's like once you get into October, there's all sorts of cool stuff going on. There's Oktoberfest actually too. It's not like a holiday for us, but it's like we celebrate it still. A lot of us are German heritage, so we don't get like time off or anything, but we do definitely celebrate it. But Thanksgiving, we get time off, and then Halloween. only eaten turkey once. Yeah, I can see that. Turkey must be pretty rare in Europe relative to other proteins. It is obviously a North American thing, as is squash, and a lot of what we eat actually is North American origin on those meals. Anywho, let's focus on the rapier fight. We've basically said nothing about this matchup at all. Apostle going with rapier. I think he's known for playing saber a lot, but he can definitely play rapier. Info is a newer player, but she has done some amazing things with Marie lately, so it's really cool to see them do a rapier mirror. Good stab from Apostle. I tend to think Marta is still a little bit better than Marie. I've seen Marie win this matchup. It's by no means impossible. And it'll always come down to the skill of the players at the end of the day. But I just think Marta has more follow-up potential if something goes wrong. Marie is very one and done. If she doesn't get it done in one attack, oftentimes she struggles. But what Marie does have is she has speed and reach, so that can help. Marta is very good if the blades get bound up, and she's able to find an angle that way. Cut to the head, but no kill. I think Apostle is cutting just a little bit too much. Really got to make use of the point in a rapier fight. Although sometimes the cut to the head kills Marie, so I see why he tried it. I've certainly won that way too, but I'd say primarily, especially with Marie's buffs, you want to use the point more. But yeah, Marta, Wiggly agrees, is probably a little bit better, at the very least. But Info is coming back. Info doing a very good job hitting the arm with that stab. Possible needs to be careful, but reminder, if you lose this round, you're still, it's best of 3, so you have some chances still, even if you do lose the first round. It's not like the round robin. And even if you lose this whole match, you still get a chance in the losers bracket, so you're not out by any means. And now this is really down to the wire. Both fighters looking to win this round. Info dips to the side, finding a nice line, stabbing the body. Well done to Info. And yes, I just had to press 7 to switch the sides, which is very convenient, so you may continue. We'll see if Apostle switches, yes, to Marina, which is probably the best counter to Marie at the moment. Info has her work cut out for her here. Nice leg cut. Now Apostle is limping. Now we'll see if Info can use her reach to her advantage. And there's a nice sidestep from Apostle. Info just not able to get a kill shot. And I think that thrust is very like, it's a good angle, don't get me wrong. I just feel like if you mess it up, you're so exposed. The A thrust, I mean. There's a good cut to the leg by Info, but no kill. And actually, Apostle got a hit of his own. And there's a stab to the toe, which is a nice trick from Info. If your point is right next to the foot with like low guard or something and you do a thrust, the thrust will track towards the leg, and that is a feature, not a bug. So it can be a very good trick here. Although it does leave Info's head exposed, so Apostle could expose that, but I think Info's plan is to take out Apostle's mobility so that the chances of that happening are much lower, and then getting a decisive blow at some point while using the reach. And this is how you use rapiers. You make use of your reach. You don't get too close. You use the full length of your weapon. And unfortunately, Info is cutting a bit too much there. You don't want to cut too much of a rapier. At some point, you gotta do some kind of stab or a cut to the head if you're gonna continue cutting. Good push, but a big cut to the head. Info should have followed up with a stab, I think. Sometimes a grab, too, can work. And there's the feint. That's a bit ballsy there by Apostle, but Info wasn't able to capitalize. And there's a double. Yeah, that sidestep X actually can kill Marina in one hit, so if you're gonna cut, that's one of the better options. But it does lessen your reach a bit by its nature. Possible getting some confidence, possibly. And there's a stab to the arm, actually, not quite the body. Good parry with that cut, and Info finds something, it looks like. That sidestep X, getting the openings, and that's really what you want to do against Marta. Sorry, not Marta, Marina. They have very similar names, if you haven't noticed, these female characters in this game. They all start with MAR, except for Isabella. Oh dear. Yeah, Info got a bit too close there and paid for it. And now Hostile looking to go in for the kill, and this will make it 1-1. And Info again getting too close. Should have thrown a cut at that point or backed away, but couldn't do so in time. And we just switch again. We'll see what Info does. Is Info going with Tarnowski? Okay. Are the sides wrong? You can back out if the sides are wrong, that's not a problem. Yeah, Tarnowski did not look like a very Info pick to me. So still Apostle made his choice, that's Tarnowski. There we go. Dipping under Info, and then another cut with the axe, which was beautiful. Threatening high guard. I like how Info plays Yendrik here, really showing us that Yendrik is still a very viable character. You just gotta play him more precisely, and you have to use certain moves that weren't as useful before. Oh dear, he's tired. And Info is just, yeah, the stun locks are brutal with Yendrik still. I don't think that's really changed. You just gotta make sure you're getting solid hits in. And Tarnowski might have been a mistake from the Hostile. We have seen him play Tarnowski, to be clear, so I'm not suggesting that he can't play him. He absolutely can and has done well. It's just that suddenly switching to a character you're not warmed up with can cause you to run into some problems. So we'll see if he has a plan. That was a really good parry. A parry from Wrathguard. This is default stance when you go left foot forward. But there's another kill for Info, and Info's in a good spot. It is 1-1. Info takes this, it's over for Apostle. At least as far as the winner's bracket. You'll still be in the loser's bracket. And now the tension's very high for Apostle. Info obviously going to be looking to finish this, and I love those moves that Info does. They really throw the opponent off, and there Apostle was caught whiffing. Beautiful from Info, perfect distance management. And yeah, Info, some people might not know this, but Info is actually pretty good with Yendrik as well, so that was a nice switch up. 2-1 for Info. Alright, obviously we won't do Maestro against Info just yet. Maestro is not here for one thing, and that's also not the order, if you look at the numbers. So we'll actually do Roderick against Piper now. Piper did some training with me earlier, so I'm really excited to see how that will go. He's obviously warmed up on my host. No idea if Roderick's warmed up as far as practicing beforehand, but we'll see what happens. I think Ezekiel said he had to back out or something. Yeah, he can't make it. There's probably something came up. He is a firefighter. Fun fact, so it could be all sorts of things. So I'll just give myself the win in that case while we're waiting. And whoever fights Ezekiel will get a free win there too. That's just how it goes sometimes. Okay, Roderick is here. I'm willing to wait a bit longer since we had that happen. But Roderick's here regardless, so got him keyboard. Roderick will take the left, Piper will take the right. Hope Piper doesn't mind that I use his old name still. He has a weird looking name. I mean, it's a cool name, don't get me wrong. It's just awkward to type in quickly, so we're still gonna call him Piper and Drummer. I'm sure he's fine with that, though. But yeah, he's got some really exotic looking European name there that looks really cool. But we'll stick with the old name that we know him. And there's a nice cut from Roderick. Piper's been doing some training with Marta, so we'll see if that pays off. He was practicing with me a little bit. He used a bit of Alex as well, and he was making some good adjustments actually. Despite the fact that he was losing most of the fights, he was actually doing a great job of that, I thought. And he's definitely learned some things with both characters. There's a cut to the shoulder, not the head, which is why it didn't kill. And there we go, Roderick taking another kill. Piper's gonna have to change something. Nice thrust to the body. Roderick has recently picked up Tarnowski, which it's cool to see another Tarnowski in this tournament. He's doing very well. Big cuts from Roderick. And there's a thrust to the body. And I got pinged about something, but I'll check that out after this round. A thrust to the body from Piper. Push attempt. I think Piper does that to mesmerize you at long range, though, because obviously that was a bit too far for the push. Piper does that a lot, and actually Luck does that a bit too. To switch legs, in fact, when he uses Isabella, because Isabella switches legs when she pushes. Tarnowski has the best name in the entire cast. Yeah, it is a pretty nice name. Not very generic, you know. At least for me, it's not generic. I don't know if it's generic elsewhere. Probably not. I don't hear it very much, but it is a really cool name. I think Laszlo is generic as a Hungarian name, though. That is a name I do see quite a bit. In a lot of, like, historical games where they're showing Hungarian people, well, Laszlo is not an uncommon name. It's the name of some of the Hungarian kings, too. Cortada, cuts, stab. I think Piper should have kept sidestepping and stabbing, maybe, but it's tough to say with Marco sometimes. Yeah, there you go. Sidesteps. Oh, Piper didn't get a kill, though. And Piper obviously looking to stay alive. It's not the end of the world if he loses here, but he's looking to win. Yeah, there wouldn't be many Italians, I don't think, in the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, but we'll see if there'll be more. There are some Italian styles, though. That is a good point, like Fabrice and all the rest of it. So Roderick takes the first match. Let me just check who is paying me, and I'll switch the names. We already sort of started, unfortunately. But maybe we can have you replace Ezekiel. First, we'll just, we'll switch the names and continue first. And we'll see. You disagree with the styles. Well, Isabella uses Fiore, and then Marie uses the Italian rapier style from Fabrice, so... Yeah, there's a bit of Bolognese and, who is it? Calc style as well, isn't there? You might see a bit more of that in the side sword too, but that's just speculation. But But a lot of these styles are obviously amalgamations in the game. He's pulling from multiple influences, and that's so that the characters have their own sort of character instead of just being a copy from the manuscripts, which is a bit boring and probably not realistic. You wouldn't expect somebody at this time period to be fighting exactly like Fiore. They'd throw in some of their own charm to their style, so. Yeah, according to Kubold, Maria is strictly Fabrice, and I can tell from the stances that she does and the different moves. Nice footwork. Calc also draws from Meyer's rapier as well. But yeah, he uses a lot of the Bolognese tradition. Anyway. Piper is going back to Alex, and I think he did very well with Alex in our fight, so I'm glad to see that. Roderick tired. Will Piper jump? He does not jump. It might be a bit too late to jump now, Piper. And Piper goes for the stab to finish it off, but it doesn't quite work. I actually used Gideon in one of our fights, so I'm really curious if Piper learns some things and maybe he'll be able to apply them. Oh, they both went for tired swings, but Roderick parried with the tired swing. Yeah, this game is mostly taking place in Poland, though, so. Well, I understand that 100%. There's gonna be more sabers in this game than Italian weapons and stuff. That's just how it is. An Italian falchion would be cool, though, like some kind of Italian sword like that. Although those are kind of Dusaki, of course, but still, you could throw in something like that for sure. Hanger, if you like, you can call those hangers as well. And sorry if my voice is a little bit off. I'm getting some kind of other cold. There's a lot of crap going around lately. I'm doing fine, of course, but might sound a little bit scratchy. And looks like it's a win for Roderick. Yeah, there was a win for Roderick. And good fight, guys. That was a very intense one and very close. Alright, 2-0, but make no mistake, that last one was definitely disputed. Okay, I'll send Ironic an invite. I think is what we'll do. And we'll go from there. So let's look at participants. It's a little awkward to delete people right now, but... Okay, let's make sure we're not forfeiting the wrong person. Alright, there we go. Oak was probably about to have a heart attack there. Okay, so you can forfeit them. Okay, how do you invite people in again? There's a way you do that. Is that in settings somewhere? Yeah, it's very awkward to add people in when you're in the middle. But anyway. Let's do Wiggly against Oak. Yeah, 100%. Astorta, yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of different time periods you could do for a game like this too. Poland is definitely not the only one that would work. Yeah, there's a lot of potential for sure for different locations, different styles, you know, you name it. Something I'd like to see is like 19th century swordsmanship for a game to take place in like India or something, British occupied India, and then you get a bunch of saber styles going from there. It doesn't even necessarily need to be one specific location too. You could do a bunch of locations and then bring in a bunch of different manuals from that time. But you know, the sky is the limit. You can think of any time period and it would work. Oak is here. Yeah, I don't see where you add people, add participant. Yeah, I can't do that though. I've got to like unstart the tourney or something. Anywho, Oak is here. Wiggly is here. Let's get started. There are no Indian manuals. Well, there are a lot of British sources that talk about how they held their swords and they document many of the techniques, so there seems to be a lot of info as to how they fought in that time period, certainly. There are traditions though, 100%, like you're saying. Alright, Wiggly on the left, Oak on the right. Oak goes with Laszlo, Wiggly goes with Alexander. Hopefully we selected the right map because we were pretty quick. I assume we did. Yeah, usually it locks onto the map you were previously in. It just looked a little awkward. Wiggly going low, trying to target the legs, targets the body, hits the head, and Oak is just overwhelmed. Beautiful getting around the guard. Wiggly has a very offensive style, so Oak is going to have to be on his toes. But Oak is also a very precise player and very, very dangerous as a Laszlo player, so Wiggly will need to play this carefully. Goes for the jump. Don't jump, Wiggly. Like it's a little meme in the server that you don't jump. I keep telling my students that the people who also play Alexander don't jump. And often it doesn't go very well. And unfortunately that thrust is very hit and miss, so Oak was able to counter that very nicely. One little mistake is all Oak needs to capitalize on it. And Wiggly's trying to snipe the hand, it looks like, snipe the arm, which is sensible. Goes around, but too far. And Oak with a perfectly spaced swing there. Wiggly not able to get a substantial hit in turn. Goes low, but too far away. I think Wiggly is throwing a few too many cuts out of measure. I do like his offensive style, but I think he's being a little overzealous with it, if you will. And Oak with a perfect angle, aiming specifically where the blade isn't, too. And Wiggly went for some kind of push or a grab, and then Oak was able to counter. Big cut upward from Wiggly. That can be a good angle against Laszlo, but you can leave your head exposed when you do that. There's another double. Oak immediately calls Wiggly out when he falters a little bit there. Beautiful cut. Wiggly's going to need to change something. There's a nice upcut that almost hit. Going low, but then takes a hit. Oak is considered by many to be the best saber user in the server. He's definitely the one that gives me the most problems on average, so I can definitely back that claim up. Despite being a really good Saber player myself, I tend to think of Oak as being a touch better than I am. But the competition is really stiff, so it's like one of those things where at the highest level, anybody can beat anybody. So you think of people like Eve as well, or Pianist back in the day was very good as well. Even people like Ezekiel and Wrath are pretty dangerous, so Sabers are very competitive for sure. Okay, so Oak is able to take it quite handily, I would say. Wiggly's going to need to change something for sure. We'll see what he does. Yazik, that's his old main. That might prove helpful here. I was able to get some success with Yazik against Piper's Marta, but I don't know if that really says much. I say that because the matchup is obviously in favor of Yazik, typically, so... Wiggly, I should say, dashes in. Nice hit to the arm. I called him Piper. Because I just saw Alex, I think. Not used to him using Alex. But that was a very good early kill from Wiggly. He's definitely trying to shoot in and use Yazik's speed to quickly hit that arm. Goes for the thrust, but nice counter thrust from Oak. Able to gather the incoming blade, then throw a stab of his own. Then there's a nice lunge A-cut there from Oak, taking the hand right off. Getting past the auto guard. Then there's a stab, but unfortunately the stab doesn't track very well. Oak is able to sidestep and get a nice kill. Goes low. Oh! And Oak is not quite able to get the retreat cut. Wiggly is able to recover and get a nice kill. Big cuts from Wiggly, but they are parried. Nicely done from Oak, and he gets a stab as he does so. There's a nice stab from Wiggly, but he takes a cut. Tries to cancel it, but can't cancel it in time. As he senses something is going wrong. Oak goes low, but Wiggly with a nice snipe. Retreat cut, and there's a nice double again. They both sensed the kill shot, and they both went for it. Wiggly possibly thinking of going low there. He switched legs and goes for the dash, but a very reckless move. It worked last time, but I think most of the time it gets blocked. And it might have been only because Oak was sort of sidestepping into it. But Oak is going to start tearing Wiggly apart now that he senses an advantage. And Wiggly's going to need to stay solid or he'll lose this match. And there's an upcut with the false edge into the chest. And Oak takes it 2-0. Very dangerous opponent there for Wiggly. But Wiggly, you're still not out of it. You are in the loser's bracket. Alright, so as much as I would like to fight Oak right now, we're not going to make him go through another fight. Obviously, we're going to try and stick with the order. So, let's do info against Maestro and go from there. Actually, wait, Maestro is still not here, is he? Let me just double check. Yeah, I don't think he's here. We'll skip that fight too. And we'll actually head to the loser's bracket, so I hope you don't mind fighting again, Wiggly, but we're gonna have you fight Apostle. Let me know if you do need some kind of break, though. We can do that. A lot of pressure on Wiggly, of course, if we make him fight again, but that's just the next fight in line, so I think that's what we'll do, if he is cool with it. And he will fight Apostle to stay in the tournament. Excellent. Apostle is here too. And Wiggly, you'll take the left. Apostle, you'll take the right. Excellent. And good luck. Apostle of Barabash. Wiggly possibly going Alexander. Now, worth noting, this isn't like Venator's tournament, so you do still get a best-of-3 fight. So if you lose one round, it's okay. Just make sure you win after that. Possibly able to move? Yeah, excellent, okay. Just making sure. Good sportsmanship from Wiggly, and Apostle there gets hit in the leg, but is able to keep his guard up afterwards. His stamina is very low, though. He's not able to move very much. Wiggly holding long guard. Yeah, Apostle. Oh, maybe Wiggly's unsure if he's. Yeah, he's still good to go. He just can't move. Yeah, don't worry, Wiggly. If something does go wrong, though, feel free to pause the game. Like, if there's some kind of serious lag going on. Not delay, but like sort of your game is freezing or something. That's when you pause. Good to signal long guard if you're not sure about your opponent, though. So very good sportsmanship. Flash of cuts there, and that's a double. Big cuts from both of them, and a cut into a snap cut from Apostle, but no kill. Wiggly getting lucky, and then there's another cut from Apostle. I find Barabash actually has the advantage lately in this matchup since the changes. It's by no means an insurmountable advantage that the Sabres, again, tend to be pretty well matched with each other, but I think Barabash just has a more solid guard to most of his body. He has a little bit more speed. They both hit roughly about as hard, though Alexander has some moves that hit harder. But they are also slower, so... I do tend to consider Barabash a bit more solid overall. Despite, you know, being a main of Alexander, I have picked up Barabash a lot, and seeing his potential, he's definitely very good as well. With the latest changes. Upcut there from Apostle. They'll be devastating to Wiggly's defense there as he lost all of his stamina. Beautiful from Apostle. There's a punch. Wiggly trying to go low, but Apostle too close for that, so he's able to counter, keeping his guard solid. Definitely got to set up those low cutting moves. You can't just throw them at any time, especially now with the damage nerf that Alex got. Gotta be a little bit careful. But they are still viable moves for sure. Apostle able to get another kill. That's the YY, the Maestro Special as we call it. That B cut actually hits the head there, which was brutal, resulting in a kill. There's the thrust, but it gets parried. It is very parryable now ever since that move was changed. And so Apostle with a nice counter, looking to finish it, it looks like, as Wiggly backs away. Usually he's a bit offensive as a player, but now being a little bit more defensive, though he does go for the sudden jump. They both go low, but they both miss, and so Wiggly is able to take a flag there. Nice parry from Apostle, but the riposte doesn't quite land. A sidestep was well done, and he avoids the cut as a result. There he goes low all of a sudden. Beautiful hit to the leg, but no limp, unfortunately. Wiggly is very low on stamina, though. He is in the corner. And now the pressure's on. Wiggly has to get out of this corner somehow. Goes for the jump, and Apostle was reckless, resulting in a double. Probably didn't expect it, to be honest. Which is Totally fair. And then goes for the sidestep. A beautiful move, especially in this matchup. Apostle taking the first round. Yeah, Apostle with a very good pick with Bara, it looks like, and he's probably going to stick with it. Okay, I don't think he meant to go back. That's all good. Let's try that again. Looks like Alex versus Barabash. Okay, somebody went back again. Okay, Apostle on the left, Wiggly on the right. Alright, somebody went back again. I'm not touching anything, so not sure. Alright, there you go. Wiggly, Alexander, Apostle. Oh, wait. Apostle switched. Okay. That's interesting. Alright, Calc against Samuel, which is different. But Wiggly has played Calc before, so it's not as if he's clueless in this matchup. I'm just surprised to see both of them switching. Possibly you good to go? You just stop moving. Good sportsmanship from Wiggly. He's making sure. Okay, now there's a pause. A bit of a late pause, but let's see what's up. Alright, nothing. Long guard when you're ready. Yeah, Wiggly played Couchspine a while ago now. So he definitely knows the moveset. It's just been a really long time. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Not getting anything from Apostle, so. As for a double tournament, ironic, I don't think we will. But we'll see for sure. Depends on how long this one goes, I suppose. I don't want to dismiss it outright, but I only plan to do the one, so. I have no idea. Apostle hasn't said anything this whole time. Good on Wiggly for making sure, but... Just checking in with them. Some lags, okay. Yeah, be sure to let us know when that happens. You can pause, of course, that's perfectly fine. But long guard when you're ready. Yeah, okay, excellent. He's good to go now. There's another thrust from Wiggly. I think Calc is pretty strong in this build, actually, from what I've seen of him. Very graceful fighter, too. Good mix of cuts and stabs. Very versatile. And beautiful stab getting past the guard again. And another stab hitting Apostle, I should say, right in the arm. Possibly need to be very careful of these stabs. They're getting right past his guard. Beautiful parry riposte from Wiggly. That nice snap cut that Calc does. And so this proved to be a very good pick from Wiggly, actually. Goes for the dash stab, but it's actually not very good anymore, I find. And so switching might have been a mistake from Apostle. Goes for a cut and a stab, Wiggly, and then a stab to the body from Apostle. Nicely done. Apostle obviously going to be looking to come back, because if he does win this round, Wiggly will be out of the tournament. So, Apostle playing the win here. Can't afford to goof off too much. Goes for a feint there, but actually Wiggly was able to call him out on it. Apostle probably thought he was safe, but that reach with that straight blade is very deceptive sometimes. Beats the blade, doesn't quite get... Oh, and there's a grab from Wiggly. Beautiful. Making it 1-1. And now we switch sides. Okay. So Apostle thinking. Wiggly's also thinking. There you go. Apostle committing to Laszlo, which is an interesting one. Wiggly, possibly Marie from Wiggly, which is very interesting. We're seeing some twists this fight as they're both trying to go with the most optimal character for the matchup. We'll see if Marie is good enough, though. Goes for the triangle. Apostle doesn't immediately counter, though, and he gets stabbed in the arm as a result. There's the double lunge. Goes for a grab, but Wiggly should not have done that, it looks like. And Apostle getting the first kill, which is a probably good morale booster to get that first kill after all of that. But then he suddenly got stabbed with the triangle just now. It's probably a good move in this matchup, but you gotta be very careful of overcommitting. There's a nice cut. There's a stab. Going for another cut, but Apostle is able to back away. Possibly some lag. Just long guard when you're ready. Apostle's good to go. Is Wiggly good to go? Wiggly's good to go. Wiggly threatening to cut the leg, threatening some other cuts. They're proving very useful in this matchup, which is something I've also found. Having that long blade makes the cuts very useful. Apostle lunging forward a bit, but he's got to watch that stamina. He dashes, but it's also bad for the stamina. Wiggly looking to pursue him, goes for the triangle. He's keeping his distance, though, which is what you should do with a rapier. You don't want to be overzealous about closing the distance. And beautiful combination, cut in the cut. And Wiggly dashes in. You gotta be so careful of that, though. Apostle nearly killed him as a result of that. Wiggly backs away to reassess. Again, using the reach of his weapon so that Apostle cannot attack him. Apostle needs to find a way to close in, which seems to be what he's trying to do. But the more he stays out of his own range, the more chances Wiggly will have to punish that. The triangle has low recovery, so he's got to be careful of that. Yeah, the chat's very surprised by these picks, it looks like, which is understandable. There's a nice cut, hitting Apostle right in the leg and stunning him out of that cut. Now Wiggly's going to keep using his range, knowing that Apostle has to, at some point, close in, or Wiggly has to overextend. One of those two things has to happen for Wiggly to lose this. And so Wiggly is going to take his time, then he goes for the stab when Apostle overextends. Beautiful use of the rapier. And this is how you win with Marie. You gotta play to the advantage of the weapon. And I think Wiggly's doing a good job of that. There's a nice stab to the arm. No kill. Triangle, again, very risky. And Apostle is able to capitalize. Big cuts from Apostle, but having taken that hit to the leg again, he's not able to close in so easily. So Wiggly is again making perfect use of that range. Apostle trying to hold long guard, of course. Wiggly looking for a blade beat, keeping his distance. Apostle with a big cut out of measure. Nice bait from Wiggly, but it's not able to land as Apostle is able to recover into long guard. Then Wiggly dashes in, which was a mistake. Apostle now slightly ahead. An epic fight to stay in the tourney right here. Nice cut to the leg. Big cut from Apostle. Hits the hand protection, not the hand though. That nice hand protection of the rapier, so it does not do any damage, and Wiggly is then able to grab him. Beautiful grabs from Wiggly. I'm sure Info is proud. big cuts from Apostle. Apostle realizing he needs to just close in. At some point, you just have to take a risk and throw those cuts out there. You've got the shorter weapon, so at some point you need to find a way to close, otherwise you're just gonna lose. Goes for the stab, but the incortada counter thrust from Wiggly, getting the kill. Beautiful. Beautiful usage of that technique. Going for a leg cut there, Apostle keeping his distance. There's a high guard from Wiggly. I forget what rule that is in Fabrice, but that is definitely a thing that you can do. Especially the block thrust. I wish you could use that guard to block thrust, but you can't. It's mostly to give you different offensive options. Incortada. Backdash. Apostle able to close in, though. He was stuck up against the fence there. Good use of pressure from Apostle. Wiggly needing to stay in this fight. If he dies one more time, it is over. Apostle about to win this. But it's only one flag difference here. The pressure is on. Goes for the low thrust, but then Apostle tries a counter thrust. Beautiful counter, but Wiggly was a bit too far. Now they're throwing some attacks out of measure, trying to fake each other out. Cut towards the hand there from Wiggly. Doesn't land. Incortada as Apostle comes in. Beautiful from Wiggly. Okay, it's down to the last flag. Who's going to get eliminated? Dashes in, goes for the grab. Wiggly takes it. Beautiful grab. Beautiful. Oh my goodness. I did not expect that. I don't think Apostle expected that. That was ballsy from Wiggly. Ballsy move, but it works. And Wiggly takes it. Excellent. The chat's in the past. They're going to see this grab and freak out. Oh my goodness. Wiggly celebrating. Nicely done, Wiggly. Yeah, that was brave. I mean, that could have been ended pretty quickly there. But excellent use of Marie to pressure right there. And so Laszlo tried the punch and Marie caught his hand. Yeah, pretty much. I think he needed to do the retreat Y, and I know that's a very common response of some characters, but honestly, I think that's your best bet to avoid being grabbed. Like, just do some kind of retreat, you know? But Apostle did not expect the sudden dash in, and honestly, Wiggly could have just as easily thrown a stab, to be fair, so that's probably why he was wary. So just the psychology of it was really cool. Alright. So I'll try again, Ironic, to see if I can get you in, because Ezekiel didn't fight any fights at all. So we'll see if we can do that. I think I've got to unstart the tournament, so I'll give that a go. And then I got to invite you in, I think. But I don't see where you do that, because usually it's somewhere in here, but... Misk. Yeah, it's supposed to be in the settings that you can unstart it, but I just don't see where you do that. And I can't add the participant. I'm trying that, but... Hang on, let's reactivate. It says substitute. Can we do that? Alright, what's your username on challenge? Let's give that a go. I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, just tell me what your display name is, Ironic, and I can let you in. He just stayed. That's because he was catching you in the active phase, right? So he was grabbing you as you were... Not active phase, I should say wind-up phase. He caught you in the wind-up phase. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Alright. Ironique? Okay. Ironique. I think if you want to be very French, if your pronunciation, I probably still got it slightly wrong, but let's do that. And I think you've got to accept it now, Ironic. So we'll do our fight. Just making sure Ironic is aware of what needs to be done. And we'll just do that fight first. And then whoever wins, I think, will fight Oak. Because we can't complete this bracket. So I don't want to get your hopes up, Wiggly, and then suddenly make you do another fight. But unfortunately, Ironic was able to show up, so I think it's only fair that we let him in. So. Yeah, I'm not sure what Apostle is trying to say, but generally to stop grabs, you're supposed to retreat. So, all right. While Ironic is trying to get this sorted out, it's a little awkward, unfortunately. Does Ironic not have the roll? Let me fix that. Competition participant. There we go. Now she has it. Well, I suppose punches aren't the fastest. Yeah, that's the other thing. Different punch speeds and stuff. So, in general, you don't wanna counter a grab with a punch. It'll only work if you sort of beat the opponent to the punch, if you will. Okay, so gonna wait for Ironic. Not getting any no teeths. All right, hang on. Competition. Let's look at the participants again. There we go. Okay, I just had to put in the username as well. Because there's like display name and then there's username, so those are kind of different. Yes, it should say you're invited now, so let's give that a try. Sorry for the hold up, guys, but Maestro is late anyway, so it was kind of inevitable. It was just a matter of when, so we should get through it though. And we'll give Maestro as much time as he needs to join. We're not in a massive rush or anything. It's only been like an hour. You're in. All right, so just join the Parsec link, Ironic, and then we'll get started. It's good to see. And I'll reopen that match too, so it doesn't show up as a Ironic having lost. So this will be my first fight, so hopefully this goes well. All right, I take the left side, Ironic will take the right. I think Ironic needs keyboard, so we'll give her that as well. All right, let's go. Okay, something not working. You can't fight on the right. Okay. Well, I know Venator's warned you about it before, but since I haven't given you a warning yet, I'll let you play on the left. But you gotta figure something out with that, because everybody has to switch sides, so it's only fair. But I get that. If there's some kind of glitch, we'll let it go for now. So, for anyone unaware, Ironic struggles to play on the right because of some kind of problem. So, for this tournament, we will allow her to just play on the left the whole time. I don't mind doing that just this once. But we'll have to figure something out with that for sure. Feel free to offer suggestions in the Discord after this, guys, to help her out. Anyway, good luck. Something up. Okay. Ah, nice. Alright, we'll just do the next round then. It's best of 3. So, good luck. You want to do a rapier duel? Let's do it, let's do it. I might regret this, but we'll see. I'm pretty good with Martha. My, we had the same plan there. Alright, nice one. 1-1 now. Let's see what happens. I don't know who to pick, but we'll figure it out. I'll just go with my main, I think. Regardless of who Ironic picks. Alright, Marina. Yeah, that was kind of stupid of me. Alright, GG. 2-1. Definitely was not easy. Good thing I was good if Marta decided to challenge a rapier master to the rapier fight. Alright, I won't make you fight again, Ironic. I think what we'll do is I'll fight Oak next. And then you can fight Wiggly at that point. Yeah, Marina is not as strong as people think. There is no changes made to Marina, to be clear, but there's a myth that she is strong, and I don't think she is as strong as people think. I think she's quite balanced. Okay, Oak. Let's do this. This is gonna be a tough one. I'm not. It's like I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not looking forward to it because Oak is always very fun to fight, but he gives me so many problems. Okay, so Oak, you're on the left to start off. Let me just edit that. Gee, weird cursor bug, but it's not as bad as it used to be in the Unity thing. That's not to do with the game, by the way. That's to do with the mod manager, which is used in a lot of games. It's not just this one, so it's not unique to this game, just to be clear. I'm kind of between Yan and Barabash here. I'll go Yan. Need somebody with some speed and some reach. Let's go. am I still alive? Oh my god. Jan's extra HP. Nice, nice. Down to the wire, don't know who to use, but Barabash has worked before, let's do it. I don't like Alex in this matchup. I just don't. So let's see what we can do. Alright, 1-1. Another high pressure fight for both of us. But I found my pick, I think. See if Oak changes. He's going to stick with his main. Good choice. I know he can play a few other characters, so I was curious about that, but he's gonna stick with Laszlo, and I appreciate that. I highly respect that. Just putting all of his time into one character. GG, Oak. We were countering each other so well there. It felt like we were fishing for mistakes a lot. Like, that's why we were throwing so many attacks out of measure, like these preemptive attacks. So, like, anytime one of us left the slightest opening, it felt like we were both able to capitalize. So, that was nice. And I think I definitely found the character to fight you with. Barabash has a nice mix of different cut directions, and I think he's a little bit faster actually than Yon. So at least some of his attacks are faster. The attacks that I need to use are faster, and they hit a little bit harder. But he does sacrifice reach for that damage for sure. So yeah, that was high pressure right there. I guess we gotta do Ironic versus Wiggly next, and if Maestro takes a bit too long, we just gotta unfortunately disqualify him and continue because we can't delay his fight forever. And I know Info's waiting for some blood right now, so we'll do the fight that we can do and we'll give him as much time as possible, but at some point we're obviously gonna have to just carry on with the tournament. Okay, Ironic will be on the left, and thankfully Ironic's at up top anyway, so that's how the fight will start regardless, but Ironic will need to fight from the left the whole time, as we know. Alright, they're both in. Ironic gets keyboard, and Ironic will be on the left, of course. It's kind of nice, though, because then we can just continue with the rounds without having to mess with switching the sides, but my suggestion would be to find a different program if possible for the future. If whatever program you're using right now doesn't work, seek some help in the Discord. I know there's people who will be willing to help. Anyway, we'll just stick with the left side for this tournament. Ironic on the left, Wiggly on the right. Best of 3. Something going on? Let me just check. Okay, Wiggly had to back out, I think, from what I'm seeing. Ooh, they possibly arranging something. Okay, Wiggly's joining. Excellent. Alright, I will keep it a secret from viewers unless you are curious enough to go look. I want this to be a bit of a surprise for me, so let's see what they do. It seems like they're planning some kind of mirror, maybe an Alexander mirror, some kind of matchup. I don't know. But they're fighting for elimination, so that's very brave. I think they've done this before, so it's not the first time these two have done that. They might be... Oh yes, they're organizing a rapier duel. A duel of honor to start up this fight. They can both play Marie for sure, so let's see what they can do. Ironic, obviously more of a master of Marie than Wiggly, though, so on paper, Ironic has the advantage, but we'll see what happens. Wiggly's obviously been practicing with Marie some, including in competition. Big cut from Wiggly, but there's the double lunge from Ironic, hitting the arm square with the tip. Goes low, doesn't quite land. Big cuts from Wiggly. Trying to beat the blade, but Ironic is able to break long guard just in time. Ironic sidesteps that stab, goes for a double lunge of her own. Wiggly tries to dip under, but Ironic keeping distance. Triangle, but Ironic punishes it. There's a punch. Oh, but the punch is interrupted by the grab. Nicely done from Wiggly. Wiggly with these grabs has been incredible. It literally saved him in that one fight too, where it was down to the wire, but he didn't care. He just rushed in and went straight for the grab, and it was beautiful. sort of tenacity is sometimes what you need, and that's something Wiggly can definitely deliver. Ironic, more of a patient fighter, I would say. Right now, it's more of a chess match. They're waiting for the good opportunity, trying to see what their opponent does in reaction to their moves. Ironic with a nice counter thrust, however. And that gets her another kill. Tries to dip under, doesn't quite land it. Goes for a thrust, goes for... Yeah, they both went for the same move, but Ironic's timing seems to have been just a little bit better, and Ironic knows how to follow up those attacks with the Incortada. So that nets her another kill. Wiggly slightly out of his element, at least in the sense that Ironic is a very good rapier player who's played Marie for some time now. Triangle gets punished, but Wiggly looking for the grab, but Ironic realizes the Incortada is a good follow-up up close, so it does land. Worth noting that all of these stuns, too, do stun you more than normal, so all these hits with Ironic are, as a landing, are proving very helpful. And again, getting the stab to the arm. Wiggly's gonna need to change something. Ironic is spacing him out perfectly here. Good to see Marie killing in short order again, too. Although it is against another Marie, still. It is good to see. Testing the guard, Wiggly then goes for another thrust, covers the line, but isn't able to land it. Ironic with a nice feint. Trying to bait something out from Wiggly, I think. Goes for the leg cut. There's the triangle, but eats a stab. The triangle keeps getting punished. I don't think Wiggly should keep throwing it as an initiating move. I think it's better as a punishing move oftentimes. Especially once your opponent knows that you're going to be throwing it. Yeah, Ironic. Oh, good follow-up from Wiggly, though. Getting a stab to the arm. And there's a triangle from Ironic trying to return in kind. Both trying to get those style points. There's a cut out of measure from Wiggly. Some cuts out of measure. There's a thrust trying to dip under. Ironic is able to counter thrust just in time. Dashing in, but actually cancels it. Nicely done from Wiggly. There's the double lunge. Wiggly getting a bit of a stun in there as well, though, and that is enough to take out Ironic's stamina. Wiggly gets another kill. There's a thrust from Wiggly, but immediately countered. Beautiful Incortada finish from Ironic. Wiggly does still have another round to work with if he loses this, but it would not be ideal. Definitely needs to try and dig in and win this. They are fighting to stay in the tournament at this point. So the stakes could not be higher. Wiggly running out of stamina if these attacks out of measure. Ironic, I think, going for a grab this time, but it doesn't land. Wiggly is well aware of these grabs. Goes for a triangle, but gets hit in the leg. Nice cut from Ironic. There's a double lunge, gets past the guard. There's a punch, though. It gets really scrappy, and Wiggly is tired. Ironic doesn't immediately go in for the stab, though, trying to be cautious here. But there we go. Wiggly was just too tired to recover from that, and Ironic is able to take it. That's the first round. Stay on your sides. Do not switch, and pick your characters. Obviously, they're probably arranging something. Maybe an Alexander Mir, maybe a longsword fight, who knows. Maybe a Marta Mir. Or a Calcmere, who knows what they've got planned. Okay, Wiggly is now moving. Selecting Alexander. Ironic goes with Alexander. Beautiful. I kind of suspected that first after the rapier fight. Wraps around. Nice use of that down forward Y from Ironic. Getting a perfect angle. Dashing. Tries to go low there, Wiggly, but too far. Trying to see what Ironic does. Goes for a bunch of cuts, but again, Ironic with the wraparound, getting right past the guard. That's how you do it. You find angles, you can get right past auto guard in this game. And again, getting a slight angle as Wiggly moves forward, and there's the down forward X, actually, the flourish. Getting another kill, Ironic with these style points. Very different style from what Wiggly's used to, I'm sure. This is also different from my style, not just different from Piper's. Down forward X, then a retreat cut, hitting the arm. Wiggly is struggling here. And this is a character that Ironic can play very well, so this was not just anybody playing Alexander. There's some people who play Alexander from time to time and know the moves well, and Ironic is one of them. She just isn't as active as she used to be. Goes for the thrust and the cut, tries to follow it up. Wiggly's able to back away just in time. Then there's the wraparound again. Wiggly just not ready for it. Perhaps Wiggly is throwing too many cuts, and that's why he's getting caught by it so easily. But sometimes it just gets around the guard as well, because you have an angle. But this time Wiggly with a nice upcut hitting the arm. Goes with the head bob, Wiggly getting a kill. And Wiggly is starting to come back. Ironic better be careful here if she wants to secure her victory and knock Wiggly out of this competition. Yeah, Wiggly again. He's a little bit more passive now, and that's because he doesn't want to throw everything away. Literally 2 more flags, and it's Ironic's win. Threatening a jump, but doesn't jump. There's a thrust, but cancels the attack just in time. Ironic getting sidestepped and goes for a grab, but Wiggly was ready for it, throwing a cut. That's the thing with Alexander's footwork, is if he gets sidestepped like that, it can be pretty rough for him. There's a trade of cuts. Messy as they both just go in for cuts there, not much regard for defense on either side. But they both manage to stay alive somehow. Wiggly's throwing some cuts, but he really needs to watch his stamina, it looks like. He goes for a dash. It looks like he wanted to grab or something, but Ironic is able to get the kill. Ironic needs one more, just one more kill, and she will knock Wiggly out of this competition. Wiggly needs to win this. And Ironic's probably going to take her time with this. She does have a lot of patience. Retreat cut. There's the wraparound again, but this time Wiggly's footsies keep him safe. But you gotta be careful sometimes sidestepping, because it's just that, exactly, that can create the angle for that move to land. And Ironic might be looking for an opportunity to land it at this point. Just constantly sidestepping, but Wiggly knows about the move too, and he goes for it. And sidestepping, Ironic opened herself right up. The head bob, but he moved in the direction of that cut. And unfortunately, Ironic, at least unfortunately for Wiggly, Ironic was able to land that hit. 2-0 for Ironic, but that was a good fight. GG to both fighters. And unfortunately, we might have to disqualify Maestro, because Maestro has not shown up, to my knowledge. Feel free to yell at me like right now, Maestro, if you're here. But we gotta move on, so it just is how it is. Oh, whoops, did I give Maestro the win? No, you're not gonna get a win for not showing up. Okay. Let's redo that. Yep, submit scores. Piper, you're gonna get a free win. There you go, now we did it properly. So I think Piper hasn't fought in quite some time. So we're gonna have him fight Oak, because that's gonna be quite a derby, if you will. I think Info hasn't fought in a while too, so we could do either one, but I'm gonna let Piper fight. The stakes will be really high, as this is also a fight to stay in the tournament. Yeah, winning for free is always fun. Makes it very easy on you, you know? But yeah, it's not the best way to win. But that's how it goes. I know Maestro did say he would be late, but he is very late at this point, so we'll see what happens. Okay, Oak is here, Piper is here, excellent. Oak, you'll be on the left, Piper, you'll be on the right. Yeah, I hate to disqualify Maestro, but unfortunately it's either we do that or we wait however long we have to wait, and that could be quite a long time, so we gotta do what we gotta do. Both of these fighters are fantastic Saber players. Oak widely considered the best. Piper, one of the best Alexanders, though, so by no means an easy fight for Oak, regardless of who's considered by the majority better. I mean, the competition is pretty close here. And Piper very aggressive to start out, but Oak keeping his cool, despite the fact that Piper was attacking a lot of his openings. And Oak, again, cool as a cucumber, as Piper goes low and counters him immediately. But there's a cut for Piper, landing a kill of his own. Ooh, Oak's blade got beat there. I think it was because it hit the weak. And there he takes the hand right off. That's something Laszlo is very good at. And by extension, Oak is very good at. Big upcut there. Nice exchange of attacks. And there's a grab that does not land. And a nice sidestep from Piper, securing the kill. Unfortunately, Piper can't do the head bob spam we used to be able to do because Kupol did something to the dashes. I don't know what exactly he did, but it's like you can't dash side to side as fluidly as you used to be able to. It's kind of annoying, but we use what we got. You can still head bob, as Piper is showing us, but it can be a little clunky if your intention is not to throw the head bob attack, and instead to dash side to side. There's some cuts. Nice exchange. Goes low, but too far. Oak keeping his cool again. Very precise, hits the hand. He sensed that Piper was going to try something, and he immediately countered. Goes low, does not quite land. Retreat Y, but Piper parries it and gets a nice kill of his own. Oak looking to win here. There's a retreat Y, somehow does not kill. Goes low and forces a double. Piper is still determined to go on the attack here. But Oak goes to the side with a nice upcut and takes it. Switch sides. Probably another Laszlo for Oak, but we'll see what Piper does. He sticks with Alexander, which I think is sensible. Marta is not the best character. She is capable of winning this matchup, but I feel like if something goes wrong, Oak would be able to capitalize very easily against Marta. Oak isn't the type of guy who makes a lot of mistakes, and he's very good at punishing your mistakes. He's among the most precise players in the game, if not the most precise. Of course, as I say that, Piper was able to score a flag against him, but again, another kill from Oak immediately after. Good recovery, maintaining the lead. And I think Oak is really dictating the pace of this match a lot more than Piper is right now. Although Piper gets a nice kill there, as I say that. Oak going for the attack, but backs away. He doesn't like what was happening there. His blade got a little tangled up. He might have been able to secure the kill if he kept going, but you never know when you're that close to somebody like Alexander. So moving away, being patient, and then going for the kill shot later was sensible. And it paid off. Oak has 2 flags ahead of Piper at this point. Big cut from Piper, but eventually punished with the upcut. Oak looking to win. That was the retreat wind, I think down forward A or something. That was interesting from Oak. That's not a sequence of moves that I've seen before. But it seems like a very effective combination, especially in this matchup, if you time it just right. Upcut from Oak. Nice exchange. Upcut there from Piper, but his head is exposed, and immediately Oak takes it. Oak is just so good at that. You give him one opening, and then he will immediately secure it. But then Piper jumps, and it works this time. Just incredible. Oh no, Piper, don't... Oh my god. Don't jump. Don't jump. Alright, Oak takes it. But good effort from Piper, good effort. Now we gotta do info against Roderick. I still gotta give Piper credit for making it work that one time, I think. Yeah, it looked like a fun fight. Okay, Roderick is here. Info should be here pretty shortly, too. Info will have to lose to fight Ironic right away here, but it is a possibility, you never know. Alright, so Info on the left, Roderick on the right. Roderick should have keyboard. Let's get started. My throat is getting a little bit dry, so we might take a break after this fight. Not very long, I just need to get something to drink. Guzzle some water or something. It'll be at most a 5-minute break, maybe even less than that, if we do that. Okay, oh, sorry, Roderick going with Samuel. Info going with Marie. Samuel is a pretty good pick here. Info sticking with her main, which is also sensible. Regardless of how weak Marie might be, it's always good to at least play one of your mains. Because you know the character inside and out and don't need to think about anything. And that can be an advantage in and of itself. Nice exchange of cuts there, actually. Info throwing some cuts and thrusts. Another cut thrown. Roderick trying to shoot in. Roderick beating the blade down, hitting the head. Another point for Roderick. Going low there. Trying to beat the blade down. Manages to beat it that time, but Roderick is a little hesitant to close in because Info might try to disengage and stab. There's the triangle. Roderick eventually... He doesn't actually punish it right away, but he gets a stab towards the end there. Poor Info hasn't had a fight in ages. Yeah, for sure. That's how it goes sometimes. Big cut from Roderick, but unable to follow it up. Still, he's playing very conservatively, but still not afraid to close in when he finds the opportunity, which is a fair way to play. Especially if Samuel. Because Samuel has a pretty good auto guard. Some cuts there, again beating the blade down. Needs to find an opportunity to close, though. Tries to dip under, but Info stabbing right down the pipe there. Goes for a push, doesn't quite land it. Big cut from Roderick, and then retreat cuts as Info tries to go for a grab. I don't think Roderick was necessarily trying to hit Info there. It was more just a way to get away and parry any incoming thrusts, but if you can hit your opponent while doing that, all the better. Trying to dip low for a stab, but Info gathered that blade nicely. Big cut there from Roderick. Doesn't land it. Nice deception from Longguard. Goes in, tries to go for a cut, I think, not a kick, but he was too close, and then Info is able to capitalize. Yeah, I don't think a kick is what he was looking for. There's a stab right down the pipe. Info back in the game. For sure. It's only a 1 flag difference now. It's looking that much more possible for a comeback. Goes low, trying to hit the leg. Roderick keeping his distance and waiting for an opportunity. Both going for long guard. Roderick with a nice sidestep, but then Info with a sudden thrust down the pipe again into the arm. Marie can get a straight shot on Samuel. Samuel can be in trouble because Samuel's HP is not that much better than hers. Big cut from Roderick. Dash cut, beating the blade, but too far to follow it up. Flags are even. Roderick looking for an opportunity. You can definitely tell he wants to close in. But unfortunately, he gets stabbed right in the chest. And Info needs one more to secure the win this round. Then a sidestep from Roderick, gathering the blade and hitting the head. Beautifully done from Roderick. Anybody's round now. Down to the last flag. Info threatening a thrust from Longguard. Maybe inviting Roderick to try beating that blade. That's the trouble. When do you go in for the beat? Roderick with a nice stab follows it up with a cut, and he takes it. Alright, switch sides. Roderick on the left, Info on the right now. Info possibly gonna switch it up here, but we'll see. I don't think there's any right or wrong for Info at this point. Just use whoever you feel comfortable with. Goes for Yendrick. Info is a very good Yendrick player, as we know. And that's helped her out this tournament, actually, so we'll see what happens. It's nice to have a character that's very different from your main to sort of switch your style up completely. The axe obviously working very different from the rapier in this game. So let's see what happens. There's a nice wind up there from Info, the one-handed chop. And that takes the hand right off. And again goes for it. If Roderick moved into that, that would have been trouble. But Roderick keeps his cool and then goes for the stab. 1-1. High guard from Info. Retreats, trying to hit the hand, but doesn't quite work. Big cut from info, but Roderick parries it. Sometimes you have to take those gambles with Yendrick, but in this case it didn't work. Shoots in, but a punch to the chest actually, not so much the face, but it worked. And Roderick gets another. Should have hit the solar plexus there, Gideon. And that stunned info. Big cut from info, but eats a cut to the head in turn. And those slow moves seem to be enabling Roderick to close in, unfortunately. When they're well timed, though, they certainly do work. Big cuts there, info able to stay alive. Another kill for info. Kick, but it doesn't work. Crazy moves here by info. Roderick looking to win this, having secured some kills. Big cut, there's the punch, the elbow. Info is still in it. Goes low, but Roderick calls it out. Moves back, hits the hand, and that's Roderick's win. Alright, GG to both of you. Alright, so I think what we'll do is this. I'll fight Roderick after the break, and then we'll have info fight Ironic. Either way, one of you is going to have to fight twice, but I think we'll have Roderick fight twice. But we will give him a break first, because I got to get a little bit of water. At most, there'll be 5-minute breaks, but I might be here a bit in less time than that. So be right back. Won't be long. Alright guys, I'm back. Took a nice drink of water, and I'm ready to accept Roderick whenever he's ready. But we're not in a rush. I did say like 5 minutes, possibly less, but if he's ready to go, we can get started right away. Yeah, Maestro a bit too late. He showed up now, but a bit too late now to accept him. Okay, Roderick will be on the left, and I'll be on the right. Oh, perfect. He's on the left here, too. All right. Go ahead, Roderick. I'll go Alex, sure. Kind of wishy-washy with some of the sabers. Because I've won matches with Bar and Yon handily, so I consider them like secondary mains, depending on the person I'm fighting. But yeah, against someone like Roderick, I mean, this is such a classic matchup, so can't go wrong with my main. What the hell? That was strange. Okay. You probably deserved that. I was tired, and so I couldn't move. Oh, the push stun. A bug that happens of all characters. Oh. Probably was by bad there. Yeah, we're switching sides. There you go. Ooh, nice. Alright, GG, Roderick. I decided to mirror whoever you were going to use, so Tarnowski's a really fun mirror. Alright, we got to go back to the loser's bracket, though, as I've made it to the finals. It'll be Info against Ironic, which will be exciting. And as a reminder, Ironic will take the left for all the rounds. Yeah, it'd be cool if you hosted a tournament, Ironic. Okay, Ironic's here, Info's here. Good to see some positivity in the community over there. Alright, let's get this fight started. We're probably going to see a rapier mirror of some kind. And the winner will fight against Oak, I believe. Oh yes, I might not have given you keyword, Ironic. That's my bad. Yeah, I forgot. That's on me. Give that another try. Excellent. Info, you're on the right. Go ahead. Excellent. Alright, that's all that happened. Is that I forgot. Info threatening to dash in. Of course, Info is known for her grabs, so we'll see if those make an appearance in this fight. There's the double lunge. Info with a cut to the head, though, as the stab was too close, I think, to land for the full damage, as the tip didn't land properly. There's a cut out of measure by Info, threatening the high guard. That's what a lot of people call it. I think it's called high guard in the game, but I think it's one of the rules in Fabrice is what it's called. I don't know much about the style, but my understanding is you use that not only to launch cuts, but also to deflect incoming stabs. And there's the double lunge into Incortada. That is Ironic's signature combo. Going for a stab, doesn't quite land as Ironic is able to land a counter thrust. Big cuts from Info, out of measure though. There's the double lunge, there's the Incortada. Ironic getting another kill. Goes for a thrust, Info doesn't quite land it. I think Info is looking to beat the blade to find an opportunity to close in. There's a triangle, but gets countered by that thrust, but that thrust thankfully hit Info's hand protection, so it did not get through. There's a thrust, but the double lunge, and then the cut from Info, again to the head. Very different styles with Marie here. So far, evenly matched. Info threatening a grab, but a bit too far. Still follows it up with a stab, then a cut to the head. And now Info is ahead. There's the double lunge, and then a thrust to the throat from Ironic. Brutal. As Info just moved right into it. There's the high guard, throwing a cut, then a stab. Ironic able to keep distance. Info dashing in. There's a nice stab from Info. Ironic stamina is getting low. Nice beat. And Ironic is moving back now. Under a lot of pressure. And there's the triangle. Finally, the triangle lands. That was beautifully done from Info. Reminder that they're fighting to stay in the tournament, so the stakes are very high in this rapier duel. Info having taken some hits now this round. Possibly some lag. Info's good to go. Ironic's good to go. Alright, that's good. So dash. Info going for the cut, but Ironic is able to land a stab before it can land. Now they're both being a little bit cautious. Info backing away from that thrust. Nice beat. Is not quite able to land a counter thrust though. There's a big cut from Ironic though, and then a nice thrust. Good blade beat. Ironic going low to the left there, but it doesn't quite land. Both go for a double lunge. Ironic getting a little bit of a slice action there, and then a stab to the body. Ironic needing one more. Yeah, almost certainly we'll have to fight a rapier. On the bright side, if you do defeat Info once, there's a chance Info will switch to Yendrick. I don't know if that's a win in your book, Oak, but it is at least a possibility if Info is able to win. Big cuts from Info, but it leaves her right open for a stab. And again, stick with the same sides. I almost switched them, but you gotta stick with the same sides because Ironic will be staying on the left. So, let's see what happens. Another Marie mirror. I love that sound of the sliding blades there. Info getting a kill. It's kind of ironic, isn't it? Racer says about the lose-lose situation that he believes he's in. Because he will have to fight a rapier at some point. There's no avoiding it. Dashing in, gets stabbed. Cut to the leg from Ironic, and then finishes it with a stab to the body. Big cut to the leg, then a stab. Double lunge, stab to the face, but they're not hitting properly. Still, if you get enough grazes, you'll eventually get a kill. So, good combinations by Ironic, and Info was just on the back foot the whole time. Then a stab to the body. Perfect kill shot there by Ironic. Indeed, thanks for the info. a stab, but then Info is able to land a cut. It's interesting that Info likes throwing these cuts, and sometimes they work for her, but other times they don't. Ironic with a more point-centric style, I would say. Although she does also throw some beats here and there. Kind of have to at some point. Just gotta be careful when you do it. Alright, they're both taking their time. Dash from Info. Nice lunge. Low guard into thrust there, but Ironic keeps her distance. And there's the blade away from Info trying to taunt Ironic, but she doesn't fall for it. Actually, Ironic doing a bit of taunting too. They're both doing some taunting. Trying to open themselves up to bait their opponent in, but neither fighter is falling for it. They're throwing some attacks out of measure again to bait the opponent in. But nobody's going to be falling for these baits, it looks like. There's the double lunge from Info. It does not land. Good defense from Ironic. Ironic moves in. There's a punch from Info, and then a cut to the head. Info's very good at making it dirty. These grabs and these punches and these cuts. Info moves in, cut, and then Info actually eats a thrust, but then there's a stab to the body from Info. This fight is getting really close. It might be 1-1. Info just needs to win this one, otherwise Info will be eliminated. There's a double lunge, then the incortada from Ironic, that classic combo. 5-5. This is where the pressure really is on for Info, especially at this point, but Ironic obviously looking to just win this and take Info out of this competition. Going for that dash, but oh, Ironic thought she had an opening, but Info was ready with that cut to the head. Now Info just needs one more to make it 1-1. Big stab by Info. They both go for an incortada, and Ironic proving to be the master of the incortada as she lands it. And I guess Info was just a little bit off of the timing or the angle. There's a cut to the leg, a stab from Ironic, nearly winning it there. Info on her last leg goes for the triangle. There's a brace, but then there's the incortada follow-up from Ironic. And Ironic, with excellent combinations of those stabs, manages to win, but that was a very close round right there. Okay, Ironic, you gotta fight Oak next. Winner fights Roderick. Make sure you stay in, Ironic. Ironic on the left, Oak on the right. And Oak goes straight for his main, which is not surprising. Oak is the one on the defensive here as he's trying to assess his opponent. Then he goes for a cut, but there's a stab to the arm. Ironic trying to scoop under if that cut, but doesn't quite land it. Oak has to be careful closing in like this with last hook, but it is what he needs to do, and that's a double. Stab to the thigh and a cut to the shoulder. Oak with a nice counter thrust into Marie. Using long guard to gather the blade, then a stab. And Ironic just was not able to recover in time. Ironic trying to beat the blade, then there's a stab to the body. Both fighters hit each other. Ironic almost hitting the leg there if that cut. That would have been devastating potentially. I got pinged about something, but we'll check that out after this round. Well, actually, I can check it out on my phone right now. Just matchmaking. I see. Excellent cut from Oak. Laszlo does have some disadvantages in this matchup, but I think Oak feels pretty comfortable here. He knows what to do. And he's very good at keeping himself safe, despite the fact that Laszlo usually has an open body. He's making good use of that long guard. And denying the blade beat when Ironic goes for it. There's the double lunge, and then there's another thrust. No kill. Maybe the Incortada would have sealed it. There's the Incortada to the arm. Nicely done from Ironic. Blade contact there. Nice stab from Ironic, but no kill. Hitting the arm. There's a stab from Oak. No kill. Trade of attacks, but Oak wins it. There's a thrust. Nice parry from Ironic. Ironic with a cut, but that opens her right up for a stab. Very nicely done from Oak. Oak needing one more to get a win on the board. Stab to the body from Ironic. Oh, there's a punch, a cut from Ironic. No kill, but that took a lot of stamina out of Oak's stamina pool. Oak looking for a stab. It looks like gets hit several times. Still able to hold long guard, so Ironic needs to be careful not to overextend and to use her reach the best that she can. Oak looking to land a cut, but he has very limited stamina, very limited HP, so any little mistake, and Ironic should be able to at least secure a kill. But Oak, just calm and collected, very precise player. Simply making him limp does not mean that he's no longer a formidable fighter by any means. For a cut to the body. There's a double lunge. Oak is still alive as it wasn't a very effective hit. The point not hitting properly. Pressure's on for Oak, goes for a thrust, manages to parry with long guard, parries with long guard again. That's long guard for you. But then Ironic with an Incortada. Crazy parries there with long guard. There's a thrust, nice counter from Oak, and he closes in as Ironic overextends. Alright, stick with your sides. Switch characters if you feel like it. Oh, Oak did it on impulse, but that's okay. Ironic will stay on the left, as per the agreement. It's all good. Same characters, possibly. Oak going right for Laszlo. Laszlo mirror. Okay, we saw Ironic using Laszlo earlier, so... It's a brave choice, but... Ironic obviously knows how to play Laszlo a little bit. I'm Archer Oak's kind of happy to be fighting a Saber now. Any Saber, regardless of whether it's Laszlo or not. Oh, and there's the Vineyard, as we often call it, the sidestep. Y cut, diagonal. Very effective move. Ironic trying to go low. Both fighters applying a lot of pressure to each other despite being just out of measure. All it takes is one instant and all of a sudden you're in measure just like that. And then your hand flies off. Especially if you move in a circle, you can close in on your opponent surprisingly quickly. Especially if someone really fast like Laszlo goes low, hits the leg. Now Oak is tired, it looks like, but Ironic is hesitating to finish it off. And Oak does a leg void for some reason. I don't know how that was triggered, because I didn't see a low attack. And there's the stab from Ironic. Ironic's been very good at landing that, actually. So the pressure's on Oak to prove that he's the supreme Laszlo, of course. As Oak is like the Laszlo main right now. There you go, down forward A, I think. I don't know, actually, but that was a very good lunge from Oak. Nice exchange of cuts. Oak trying to tag the arm there. Then goes low, but Ironic exposed her arm in doing so. Again, that low cut, beating the blade, but doesn't get a kill, but Ironic just keeps up the pressure. Securing a kill, regardless. Only one flag difference now. Ironic playing a very good Laszlo. Oak definitely has to take her seriously here, or he will lose. There's the retreat Y. Good parry from Oak and riposte. It's one thing that move is very good at. Oh, and Ironic does the delayed combo where you do the double back Y, then you do this big swing, and it actually catches Oak off guard. Often that's done accidentally, but this time it was done potentially on purpose. I'd be curious about that. It could have been a complete mistake that worked too. Ironic backing away, but Oak seizing the opportunity here, needing one more to secure the kill and move on, and he gets the back Y. Ironic is eliminated, but GG to both fighters here. And congratulations for making it this far, Ironic. Ironic has been playing very much, so I'd say it's a pretty impressive feat here. Now we've got Roderick against Oak. Roderick getting very far in this tournament, which is very good to see. Roderick, by the way, for those who aren't aware, you can't really tell because his name is Pink, as he is a generous donor to the server with Discord Nitro, but he is a challenger. He's not a champion. So he's definitely looking for that champion title today. We'll see if he can defeat Oak and fight me in the finals. He's got two tough opponents to defeat. It gets very vicious at this level, regardless of who's in the finals, because so many players are evenly matched or very skilled and experienced. But this is Roderick's chance for sure. Roderick on the left, Oak on the right. We will switch, of course, this time, because both fighters are able to do so. Support for Roderick here. It's going to be a tough climb, but it's definitely a climb that is doable. We've seen it done before. Gideon versus Laszlo. I think it's a very sensible pick from Roderick. Both fighters using their main. And Oak with the 1-2. like some kind of sidestep combo, I think. The next 1-2 forward combo. Nice exchange of cuts. Neither fighter managing to hit the other. Oak threatening an attack. Good retreat from Oak. This is beautiful so far, actually, these exchanges. And Roderick able to call him out there as he whiffs an attack. And a nice hit from Roderick, actually ahead now. Big cut. Then the sidestep cuts from Oak and manages to get the kill. Holy crap. Is Oak spreading positive vibes into Discord while fighting Roderick? Holy crap. Because I'm just looking at the Discord here. He was typing in the middle of this. Probably like between flags, but still. That's impressive. He was reassuring, ironic there about her voice. Because she wants to host a tournament at some point, but is a bit nervous about it. And here Oak is just yeah. Anyway, we'll leave it at that. It's probably gonna be discussed in private later, but good on you, Oak. Cheering people up while you're fighting. That's really impressive. Roderick is not a pushover, so. That is impressive. And it's 4-4. Now Oak is able to focus completely on the fight now. It's like the handicap's off now. Nice exchanges. Goes for the thrust. That was a beautiful angle picked by Roderick. Doesn't quite land it, but then gets the cut to the body. And I'm sure Roderick's morale is really high now. There's a nice snap cut there that he did. And there's a B cut. Roderick needing one more. Retreat cut. Nice counter of the thrust by Roderick, but can't quite follow it up. Switching stances. Oak threatening to hit him. Parry riposte from both of them. Nice exchange. Whoa, they were so close to each other for just a moment, but they didn't do anything. That was crazy. They're just zooming around the battlefield here. And fighting on even terms here. Nice exchanges. Good footsies from both of them. Perfect distance management. A cut. Y cut. Crazy exchange again. Both fighters doing their damnedest to stay safe, and it's a double. So nobody gained anything from all of that. Although Roderick kept his lead, so there's that. And he landed a nice hit that's got to be good for his morale. He goes for a thrust, goes for a push, but he was too far. And Oak beats his blade, but doesn't land a hit. There's a nice snap cut. There's a punch, but he's too far to land the follow-up. 2 times there, Roderick could have ended the fight potentially, but he got unlucky. Ended the round, I should say. But there's a cut from Oak. They've both been wounded at this point. The pressure is really on Oak here to stay in it and win this round, because that'll be really decisive, I think, given how evenly matched these two have been. And Roderick, trying to keep his cool, goes for a cut, then another cut, just brute forces it. And sometimes that's what you gotta do. Oak losing the first round. Alright, switch sides. This is exciting. If Roderick eliminates Oak here, that'll be really exciting. And they stick with their picks. Big cut from Roderick, that chop. Racer cheering Roderick on here. Oh, but there's that. That's a really deceptive combo that Oak likes throwing now. Nice cut to the head from Oak, getting 2 flags. That must be good for his morale. Having lost that first round. Roderick will need to figure something out as Oak is calling him out every single time he makes a mistake. That was a nice belly lunge and a retreat cut from Oak. Oak again with a cut. And that is 4 flags in a row for Oak. We've seen some crazy things from Roderick, so I would not count him out yet. In fact, if he wins this, keep in mind he eliminates Oak if he manages to win. So not as if he doesn't have flags he can afford to lose. But he's got to be careful here. As Oak is really trying to play as precisely as he can. He breaks through the guard there and hits the head, but does not kill. Probably because he hit the weak. There's the tired swing. Oak being a little bit careful there. Oak's Chancellor or something else. Yeah, he's making an amazing comeback at this point. Roderick with a chop, but he gets countered immediately. Beautiful from Oak. And Oak looking to flawless this round, which will be amazing for his morale. And he does it. He does it because Roderick moved too close. It is 1-1 at this point. And Oak is not gonna let Roderick take away any of that momentum if he can help it. Let's see what Roderick can do. Oh, somebody not able to move. Roderick's moving. Oak possibly having a lag. Spike. Oh, I got kicked out of the game. I think somebody alt-tabbed. Alright, let's try that again. Maybe Oak's, just having a lag spike. I'm not sure. Okay, let's pause it. Let's see what's going on. Lag spike? Okay. Yeah, hopefully that'll wear off. Let us know when it does. Roderick's still good to go. Very good sportsmanship from Roderick. There's the blade away stance. He's waiting. Lag super bad. Reconnect? Yeah, maybe. I'll accept you in. Alright, you should be able to move. If you can't, we can totally restart the round too. Excellent, you can move. This is for all the marbles. Whoever loses here is eliminated. Roderick just going ham. That was working earlier. Maybe that's what Roderick needs to do more of. Just gotta make sure you're in measure. But if you can get Oak into a situation where it's just a brawl, then potentially anyway, he might be able to score some flags. But you gotta be careful with that, because Oak is just a really precise player. Yeah, I'll get your organizer roll back, don't worry. Let me just... It's a little awkward to do it from the phone, but I can do that. Okay, possibly a lag spike. That wasn't me, so... Okay. Fortunately, Oak might be having some issues because he is in Russia. Hard to say. Okay, nothing from him. Alright, just long guard if you are good to go. Yeah, there's another pause. Presumably something's still going on. 2,000 ping for Oak, so looks like something on his end. But that is a shame. It just suddenly happened too. It didn't, it wasn't happening earlier, so. Yeah, I'm not hearing anything from Oak, so his internet might have altogether. Okay. No, it's okay, Oak. It's not your fault. I'll just kick you out for now. Internet seems fine otherwise? Okay. Yeah, it could just be the router. So we'll give Oak a chance to reconnect and all the rest of it. Roderick's ping looks good, so that definitely tells me it's something to do with Oak's router or whatever. So we'll give him a chance. Internet seems fine otherwise, yeah. Let me know when you're ready to reconnect, Oak, and we'll let you back in. And after this fight, of course, we'll be into the finals, which is exciting. Oh, okay, so Ironic is hosting another tournament after this one. So while we wait for Oak to connect, I guess I'll sign up. That's exciting. I'll register there. Register to that tournament if you're interested, guys. Give Ironic some support. Okay, Oak is rejoining. Get ready, Roderick. Let's see if he can move. He long guarded? Yeah. I think he's good to go, yeah. Good, we can continue. It's an amazing saber fight. And what is effectively the semi-finals. It's the finals of the losers bracket. Roderick's hearing a point there. And Oak trying to hit him immediately, but Roderick just barely far enough away. There's the upcut from Roderick. Showing us that first win was not a fluke, because Roderick is doing very well here. Matching Oak again. A cut to the arm, then another cut. Roderick is just on fire today. He's not letting that initial defeat get to him. These things always happen at a high level. Sometimes an opponent just has your number on a specific round. But anything can happen in these rounds, so you keep at it. Because you did well the first time, so there's no reason you can't repeat that. And Roderick understands that. Oak with a cut out of measure, trying to bait him in, I think, is what he's trying to do there. Or harass him a little bit. Going for a thrust. Oak backing away. Then there's a cut as Oak sidesteps a bit too much. And Roderick calls him out on that mistake. A horizontal cut there. Chop, and then barely parries that cut from Oak, but then Oak does a retreat Y and catches Roderick. Y cut from Roderick, and then there's that combo again that Oak likes throwing, and it completely threw Roderick off there. Taking the hand right off. Big A cut. Yeah, again, Roderick trying to snipe that arm. And Oak is well aware of that, so he's being careful. Again, cuts from Oak. Roderick delaying the second cut, and that actually threw Oak off a little bit. So now Roderick needs one more to secure this win and get and then completely and eliminate Oak from the fight, I should say. Dashing in, not afraid to attack, but unfortunately he did a punch, and Oak was ready for that. He knew what to do in that situation. Down to the last flag. Thrust there, trying to hit the arm, does not land. Goes for a cut, fails. Goes for another cut, fails. Goes for another cut. And Oak keeping his defense solid. Another cut fails, but very good try from Roderick. Oak is definitely on the back foot when he realizes he's making a mistake. And he's really, like, the pressure is definitely on both of them right now, but I think Oak is especially feeling it. Against Gideon. Upcut. Oak doesn't really know how to follow that up because he knows the second cut is right on the way after that fails. And a nice retreat from Roderick, nearly getting punished. Beautiful play from both of them. Potential Hall of Fame material. Chop! Oh, it did not land though. That was so close. Roderick went for the chop, but I guess it just didn't hit enough of the weak of the blade. Or Oak was just in the right position. And Oak was able to counter it. But that was so close. Well done. Well done to both of you. And now Oak gets to fight me in the finals. Let me know if you're ready, Oak. Or if you need a little bit of a break. That is Hall of Fame material right there. If one of you believes it's Hall of Fame material, feel free to submit it, I think. Or to ask other people if they agree, because obviously there's bias there. If you were involved, but I think it's definitely a contender at the very least. Because that was amazing. And Oak said he's ready to go, as usual, so let's do it. I get the left side, Oak gets the right side. And Oak is going to have to fight some more sets, and that's why I asked if he wanted to break. He's going to have to do a lot of fighting if he wants to win this, but it is very much in the realms of possibility. So, good luck. Alright, GG Oak. Meister's like, not Oak. Yeah. Yeah, I managed to win it. Yeah, I mean, I gotta give you credit though, Oak, because you messed my Barabash up pretty good. I was like, okay, I thought I found the saber to beat you, but I feel like the answer to which saber I should use to beat you is just whatever happens to work at the time. Because you're so good with Laszlo, so it's just like I gotta switch styles on you constantly to mess with your head a little bit, because you're that good. So I feel like that's what it comes down to. There might be stuff I can learn with Alex to do even better too, but I just don't like Alex in that matchup, so definitely got to use those faster sabers. But either way, that was an amazing fight. Laszlo mirrors are always so fun because one little mistake it feels like, and you can just get called out every time. So it's always like that fighting Oak, to be fair, regardless of the character you're using. But it especially feels that way when you're playing someone vulnerable like Laszlo. To beat a Laszlo, you gotta be a Laszlo. Yeah, you gotta be a Chad. Piper thought he might have worn me down earlier. Yeah, you might have just worn me up, unfortunately. Still, very good effort, Oak, and that was an amazing tournament. We saw some good fights. I think Roderick versus Oak is definitely a contender for Hall of Fame, so let us know what you think. And I'll see you guys next time. I'll end the stream there, I think, because I think Ironic wants to get her tourney started ASAP, so we're not gonna leave her waiting for too long. So, see you guys next time when I have some free time. Unfortunately, I don't have much of that lately, but I will host another tournament when I can.